Welcome to day 28 where we are talking about the AWS tutorial and specifically we are talking about the DevOps journey. In this particular video, we are going to talk about the S3 CORS, that is your second last point of the Amazon S3. So CORS stands for Cross Origin Resource Sharing, and in this CORS concept we will see how we can fetch the content from one bucket to another bucket. What does that mean? That as we see that CORS, this CORS what we talked about, Cross Origin Resource Sharing, this simply stands for you are trying to make the communication between the two domains. Like if you have abc.com and the another domain is xyz.com. Now abc.com is the application which has to fetch some of the data from xyz.com. So it will make a request to the xyz.com and it will fetch the data, correct? For that, what you have to do, you have to tell that xyz that abc.com can come to you and it can ask for the data from you. So it needs to be authorized at the end of xyz, correct? Then only it can get the data and it can show to the end user by abc.com, correct? So the similar kind of thing we will do this in the S3 bucket. That's our concept CORS, cross origin resource sharing. So what we will do in this particular video, we will launch two buckets in two different regions. As you know, S3 is a global service and bucket are region specific. So that's why I'm saying that we will be launching two buckets in two different regions. First one will be in AP South 1, that's our Mumbai region. Second bucket will be in US East 1, that is your North Virginia region in terms of AWS cloud, correct? So this is what we are going to do. We will launch one of the application, a static website hosting we will do here in the first bucket, and then we will try to get the sum of the data which is uploaded in this second bucket for the first bucket, correct? We will launch this static website application in this bucket, and that application will try to get some of the data from this bucket, and we will try to establish this communication. So this is what we are going to do in this particular video. If you are not aware how to host the static website, you can watch out the previous video where I have talked in detail how to launch your uh, first bucket, how to launch your static website application, and even about, we have talked about the other AWS services as well on previous videos. We have talked about the use case of the cloud. We have talked about the AWS EC2, the different concept of the EC2 like the user data, elastic IP address, your auto scaling groups, your launch template, the different classes of the instance class. We have also talked about the different kind of load balancer, network load balancer, application load balancer, their use case, their difference. We have also talked about the VPC and in VPC in details like subnet, net gateway, internet gateway, VPC peering, endpoint, transit gateway, and so on. We have also talked about the IAM, roles policy, and user. And here we are talking about the AWS S3. Now let's directly move to the AWS console to perform this demo rather than just going into much depth. So we will directly move to the AWS S3 console. We will create two buckets and we will see how to launch your application and then establish the communication between these two. So here I do have this AWS console already open. I have already logged in, and here I will be searching for the S3, AWS S3, correct? So let me search that, and you can see right now there is no bucket, so I will have to create my first bucket. So I'm in the Mumbai region as of now. I will be clicking on the create bucket. I will just give the name of my bucket. So to make it unique, I will give it man demo -11. That's my first bucket. I will make my bucket as a public. That's why I'm just disabling this block all public access, and I will be just clicking on this. I acknowledge the current settings. Just go with the default configuration. Let's click on the create bucket. According to the diagram, I have to create the second bucket as well. So let me create the second bucket as well, but in different region. So let me do one thing. I have to open this in another console as well. So in another tab. Here I will be just changing the region, and let's go into the North Virginia. And we will create another bucket over here as well. So let me try creating the another bucket. This one I will just give as man demo -12. The first one was with the name man demo -11, and the second one is man demo -12. The similar thing we will make it public as well, and I acknowledge, and the rest of the default configuration. Create bucket, that is in North Virginia. As S3 is a global service, while the buckets are region specific, you will see both the buckets are reflecting here, but they have the different regions as well. That's why you can say S3 is a global service and the buckets are region specific, correct? Now what we have to do, we have to host the static website in first bucket, then we have to establish the communication. We will see how data can be fetched from the second bucket, correct, with the help of CORS, cross origin resource sharing concept. So let's try launching first static website in the first bucket. Here I will get into the properties, and at the last you will see a static website hosting. For that I will have to click on the edit and enable this static website hosting. Here you have to pass the file name in index document. So I will just giving the name index.html, and that's it. You don't have to do anything. Index.html I have just mentioned, and let's click on the save changes. You are now fine. Now let's try clicking on this URL, and you will see some response over that, correct. We will debug, and we will find out, we will go up to the end. So I don't want to do all the configuration at the same time. We will go one by one, that way you will understand as well. So let me click on this URL. You will see 403 forbidden access denied. What does that mean? This URL, the static website hosting, this particular application URL is trying to fetch the content. And which content? The content what we mentioned, index.html. But it's not able to do that. Why it's not able to do that? Because there is we have not enabled this permission to be accessed. We have not given any permission to be objects to be public, correct. So for that, what we will have to do, we will have to create this bucket policy. So I'll be getting into this bucket policy, and for that I will have to get into this what we say, this notes. So let me get into this first code deploy, and this is my GitHub repo. Actually I have to get into the notes, and from here I will be just picking up the details what I have to do. So S3 CORS concept, I have already made the document for that. So I'll be just using these contents for my use case for this demo purpose as well. So let me just copy this policy, command C, and then let's get into the edit bucket policy, command V, and here I will have to rectify this bucket ARN. So let me just change this bucket ARN AWS S3 main demo -11 /star. That's our bucket ARN. And what is there mentioned? If you can see, the effect is allow, principal is a star, action is S3 get object. That means it can only fetch the data from the bucket. As of now, we are talking about the first bucket only. We are not getting into the second bucket as of now. So that kind of policy we are adding over here. So click on the save changes. Now when we have the save changes, we have passed the access. And just refresh, and you will see another error as of now. The specified key does not exist. What does that mean? Now it's getting into this static website hosting. Now it has the access to fetch the content, but this index.html is not existing. Why? Because we have not uploaded any objects over here, correct? That's true. So let's get into the upload. Let's click on the add files. We will move to this what we say, this personal docs and the S3 demo. I have to go get into that, and I will be clicking on the index.html. And at the same time I will have to upload this extra page.html as well, but let me go there, and what we will do, we will just upload here index.html. Click on the upload, close, and let's refresh. You will see some response here, a static website hosted, welcome to static website hosting demo. Here you see some of the one box is there. It's trying to upload something, but it's not able to do. What is it trying to fetch? Let's see that. So let's get into this network like inspection, and here if you refresh, you will see some of the API calls. So main demo, this website is trying to hit. It's not able to find two things here, Manish pic.jpg, which needs to be here, and extra page.html, which needs to be here. From where it is trying to fetch, so it is the part of index.html. So let me go to the Visual Studio Code, and here you will see the code as well. Here we do have my first web page, that is our title of the page, a static website hosted, welcome to static website hosting demo. That you can see here, a static website hosted, my first web page, welcome to static website hosting demo. What is there after that? It's trying to fetch this picture, manispic.jpg, and then it is trying to fetch one extra page.html. So let me try removing this, and just let's do the comment here. Let me do the save here as well, and I will try to upload this file as well, extra page.html, correct. Let me go back there on the AWS console side, and what I need to do, I have to re-upload this index.html. Why I need to re-upload? Because I have just made a changes I have just commented the second line and I have uncommented the first line where it will try to fetch extra page.html. Correct. So that's why I have to re-upload this file as well. So let me try re-uploading it. So let me click on the add files. Let me click the index.html, open. Let me select the second file as well, and the extra page.html, open. Let me click on this moneyspeak.jpg as well, click on the open. So these three files I need to upload. Extra page.html, why? Because it was trying to fetch this extra page.html. Then moneyspeak.jpg, why? Because it was trying to fetch that. Then why I re-uploaded the index.html? Because I have made them modification in the code. So let's re-upload this, and then we will try to hit this URL. You can see everything is working fine. 200 response code, correct. Static website hosted. Welcome to static website hosting demo. This is extra HTML web page. This is the part of extra page.html, correct. Till this time everything is working fine. We have created first bucket. We have uploaded the five objects in this bucket, and we have hosted the website, static website as well. Everything is working fine up to the first bucket. Now what needs to be done? I will just delete this extra page.html file from the first bucket, which is here, and then we will see the other use case. So let me just delete this extra page.html, permanently delete. Let me just do the control C and delete. Okay, so this second page, the extra page.html, is now deleted. You will see the 404, that's there, no such key, correct. What we will do, I will upload this extra page.html in second bucket, S3 bucket, AWS S3, correct, in the second bucket. Now we will try to establish the communication between these two. So I do have this second bucket, main demo hyphen till 12. What I will do, I will just click on the upload. I will click on the add files. I will go to this S3 demo. I will go to the extra page.html. I will just click on the open and just upload this file, extra page.html, correct. Will that work? No, because we have not established any communication between these two. So will that work? No, it will not. So for that we will have to establish the communication as well. Now what I will have to do, I will have to add the bucket policy over here as well. Why? Because the object needs to be accessed by this first bucket. So and this it is trying to fetch from this static website URL as well. So the bucket policy should be there as well. So let's try giving the permission here as well. So block public access, sorry, the bucket policy. I will have to add this bucket policy as well. So the same policy with the ARN, bucket ARN. So let me do the command C and then command V, and the ARN I will have to upload from here. Sorry, I will have to modify from here. So that's our ARN, man demo -12. And then let's do the save changes. Here also I will have to uh, enable this static website hosting, because it's the one domain. This is the one domain, Amazon AWS.com. This is the one domain which is trying to connect with the second domain. That is, so what does that mean? That a static website hosted over here will now communicate with the static website hosted over here. So for that I will have to host the static website over in the second bucket as well. So for that what I will have to do, I will have to get into the properties section. I will have to get into the edit section, and I will have to enable, and here I will be just passing this index.html. It's just for enablement purpose and nothing else. So I'm not going to upload any index.html over here. It's just that we just enable the static website hosting so that it can do one DNS to another DNS communication. That's what we have established through the static website hosting, correct. So that part is done. Now what is left? The main thing is left as of now. What is that? That is your CORS, cross origin resource sharing. So everything is there, but that is not. So let me try doing that part as well. So before that, what needs to be done? Let's try another thing from the code itself. So what we need to do? Let me get into the object URL. Extra page.html. This is the object URL for that. Let me go to the code. Here I need to just comment out the first line, because I have to get the data from the second line. So I will just remove this. I will just change this particular URL. Sorry. And then I have just pasted the object URL. This is the object URL for extra page.html, which is the part of second bucket. So what my code will try, this index.html, which is the part of first bucket, will try to get into this object URL, correct. This object URL is accessible actually in the public. Let me try showing you that as well. So if you click on this, you will see this is extra HTML web page, so it's accessible. But when it will try to get the content from a second bucket, it will not be directly correct. So for that, what I will have to do, I will have to do the changes. I will have to re-upload this index.html. Then you will probably see one error as well. So let's go through the error. That will be much better in terms of learning. So let me re-upload this index.html. Index.html, I have to reopen. Just click on the upload, and it's re-uploaded. So what we have tried till now, we have uploaded the extra page.html in this, and then in the code part where we have launched this static website, we have passed the object URL, this object URL in the index.html, which is the part of first bucket, and we are trying to see whether it will work or not. So let me try refreshing it. What do you see? There is no error over the console, but it internally, because it's the part of code, you can see here, because it's the part of code, this it's trying to fetch, this index.html is trying to fetch this particular URL, but it's not able to do. Why? There is CORS issue. As you can see here, the object URL is accessible, but it's not able to fetch that content. Why? Because we have not enabled this CORS, cross origin resource sharing. We have not told to this second bucket that first bucket URL can come to you and it can talk. Correct. So for that, I will have to enable this CORS as well. So let me get into there. I have to get into the properties, not probably in the permissions. CORS, yes. Get into this edit, and let's copy the content from here, this CORS part. Command C, and then let me paste it over here. And here you need to pass the first DNS, the first origin. It's the cross origin resource sharing, correct? So here in the second bucket, while when you are enabling this CORS, you have to tell that which DNS, which origin can come to this second bucket and it can talk to. So for that, you will have to pass the origin, correct? So for that, I need to pass this particular origin. Command C, and here you just need to replace this, and this is the first bucket URL of the website, a static website, which is the part of first bucket, correct? That you can see. Let's do the save changes, and here from the permission you can see allow headers, its authorization, which kind of method are allowed. So it's a get method which is allowed. So let's do the save changes, and here if you refresh, you should see the content of the extra page.html, correct? This is extra HTML web page. So this is how you can establish the cross origin resource sharing between these two buckets, and you can establish the communication between the two buckets, which are the part of the different regions, and the DNS, the origin from the first bucket, can fetch the content from the second bucket. This is the same which works in the application development as well. You try to establish the communication between the two different DNS, and that works, correct? So this is the all concept from the S3 CORS, and in the next video we might be talking about the replication rules and the lifecycle rules. That will be our short video, and then we'll be talking about the running command for S3. So till the time, thank you, and subscribe to the channel, stay tuned to the channel. So we are uploading like the different contents on the DevOps side. So till the time, thank you, bye bye.